365, shake my hand. Hope you guys are doing well. Good morning. To another episode of the podcast. Today we're outside. I've got two big dogs. They're gonna come, they're gonna push the table, they're gonna try and get my attention, they're gonna bark at someone. So I ask that you just kind of like ignore that. And yeah, good morning to my neighbors who we are all still getting to know each other. It's always weird. Like I said, we moved to this new place in December, and the two houses take up an entire block. So it's two corner houses that make up a massive block. But these neighbors don't actually know me, so they don't know how I operate. So I must be that weird guy in the morning shouting 700,000 US dollars by the end of the year. And that's just how I am. Like, I affirm myself in the morning, I declare it, I decree it. I'm very I'm upfront about it. I'm very loud about it, and that's just how I am. So it's going to take a little bit of getting used to. Now, added to that, I now film the podcast outside sometimes, right? So at least for the neighbor, hopefully they're learning something and not getting annoyed. Right, guys, last night we did chapter 9 and 10, right, of the podcast. And so we're just going to continue today because we're outside, and I don't actually like all these weird sounds I'm hearing. I don't know if you guys can pick them up. I hope you can't. We're just going to keep it short and do one chapter today. We're talking about acting in the certain way. Yesterday's chapters looked at the power of your will, right? So let's just quickly do a recap like we always do. We'll just get some sound bites from chapter 9 and some sound bites from chapter 10. Yesterday in chapter 9, he kept talking about the fact that you have to make sure that, the formless substance receives a very clear picture of what you want. That's number one. And it has to be the one thing that you obsessively, continuously are thinking about. Then, because of that, he says, it's not you who has to go and bully people. It's not you who has to trick people. It's not you who has to swindle people into these riches becoming a reality in your life. It is just about making sure that once that's clear, and it's out there, the minds of people everywhere will be influenced toward doing things necessary to fulfill your desires. And this is actually quite scriptural, right? Give and it shall be given unto you, good measure, pressed down, shaken together and running over. So shall men give back to your bosom, right? So the whole point is the universe is completely interconnected, and there's a certain way to get it to work for you, right? And then the big thing that I took away from last night's chapter, and I actually had to reread it before I went to sleep, was that every hour and moment you spend giving heed to doubts and fears, every hour you spend in worry, every hour in which your soul is possessed by unbelief, sets a current away from you through the whole domain of the intelligent substance. So you're going to slow yourself down by having competitive thoughts in your mind, thoughts of belief and disbelief. So he's quite religious about this, right? He's saying you have to literally become the adult in your world and control your thoughts. How do you do it? Like, a lot of people always ask, what's the most practical way to control my thoughts? How do I control my mind? My mind just drifts. One day we're going to read Napoleon's Hill, A Conversation with the Devil. And I'm going to tell you why drifting is not only common, but extremely dangerous. But the easiest way to do that is to have specific thoughts, your goal, your what you want to accomplish, as a habitual thought. That is, affirm it all the time. You've got 5 minutes off, affirm it. What else could be more important than reaching your desires, right? So I would commit to that, right? So and then he spoke about the power of will, that it is through the power of will we actually have to maintain a particular thinking in line with the formless substance, the whole gratitude. It's through our willpower, our will to want what it is that we are faithing for. So you must fix your attention upon the mental picture of riches to the exclusion of all that may tend to dim or obscure your vision. I mean, he went very deep into this point. He spoke about, don't even talk about poverty. Don't look up poverty. Don't even engage in poverty type of conversations. Remember, he says this is the scientific way. You and I have to just take him at word value and go try it out and then come back and say, actually, it didn't work or it did work. I know for a fact, if you follow these steps, you will get to where you want to get. So now let's look at what chapter 11 has. Chapter 11 is now talking about acting in the certain way. Chapter 8, 9, Chapter 8 spoke about thinking in the certain way. 9 and 10 spoke about the use and the power of the will to think in the certain way. And in chapter 11, we're looking at acting in the certain way. All right, cool. Hope I'm loud and clear outside. If I am not, this is the last time we'll film outside, but it's quite nice to be out here at 6. Sun rises so early. And I feel like the sun's about to be in my face. So let's try and get this chapter done. Now, thought is the impelling force that causes the creative power to act. Thinking in the certain way will bring riches to you, but you must not rely upon thought alone. Pay no attention to personal action. That is the rock upon which many otherwise scientific metaphysics thinkers meet shipwreck. The failure to connect thought with personal action. Those of you who have been trying to be practical, how's this gonna work? How? Well, there we go. He's talking about it now. That's why it's nice to finish a book, right? Get all the steps. We have not yet reached the stage of development in which a person can directly from the formless substance without nature's process or work of human hands. A person must act as well as think. By thought, you can cause the gold in the hearts of the mountains to be impelled toward you, but it will not mine itself, refine itself, coin itself into double, eagles, and come rolling along the roads into your pocket. Under the impelling force of supreme power, people's affairs will be so ordered that someone will be led to mine the gold for you, and another person's business transaction will be so directed that the gold will be brought toward you. You must arrange your own business affairs so that you are able to receive it. When it comes to you, your thought makes all things animate and inanimate work to bring you what you want. However, your personal activity must be such that you can rightly receive what you want when it reaches you. You are not to take it as charity or steal it. You must give every person more in use value than he gives you in cash value. I don't want to bring this back to me, but if you're part of our academy, or if you join our academy, you will realize we live by this. We live by this. You must give every person more in use value than what we charge. And it's not because I'm a nice guy. I think I'm a nice guy, but it's because I very much would like to be very in line with universal principles of riches, because then I get to live the life I want. All right. So it's nice to be nice, but it's also because I want to be in line with universal principles. If helping you helps me, I'm going to go 10,000 miles to help you just so I can also help me. And this is just how it is. It is far much more better to be in a place in your life where you can do more, produce more for the benefit of others, because it helps you in the whole process. The scientific use of thought consists in forming a clear and distinct, I can feel the sun on my face, man. I can feel the sun on my face. Let me do this. Right. So the scientific use of thought consists in forming a clear and distinct mental image of what you want, in holding fast to your purpose to get what you want, and realizing with a grateful faith that you do get what you want. Do not try to project your thought in any mysterious or occult way with the idea of having to go out to do things for you. That is a wasted effort and will weaken your power to think with sanity. In the preceding chapters, I have fully explained the action of thought in getting rich. You must use your faith and purpose to positively impress your vision upon the formless substance, which has the same desire for more life that you have. And this vision received from you sets all the creative forces at work in and through regular channels of action, but directed toward you. It is not your part to guide or supervise the creative process. All you have to do with that is to retain your vision, stick to your purpose, and maintain your faith and gratitude. Two Rottweilers doing whatever they do, right? But you must act in a certain way so that you can appropriate what is yours when it comes to you, so that you can accept the things in your picture and put them in the proper places. You can readily see the truth of this. When things reach you, they will be in the hands of other people who will ask an equivalent for them. You can only get what is yours by giving the other person what is his. Your pocketbook will not become bottomless. It will not always be full of money without effort on your part. Receiving is the crucial point in the science of getting rich. I literally struggled with this, for a very long time. In fact, I'm pretty sure this is still something I need to spend another year working on. I'm a terrible receiver, man. I always feel like, no, I hardly accept gifts. I hardly accept thank you stuff. I hardly accept there's a time when the senior traders will actually like Armstrong me and go behind my back to get some of my something that they were putting together. I'm a terrible receiver, and I know this, and I'm working on it. But receiving is a crucial point in the science of getting rich, right here, where thought and personal action must be combined. There are many people who consciously or unconsciously set creative forces in action by the strength and persistence of their desires. All right. However, they remain poor because they do not provide for the reception of the thing they want when it comes. By thought, the thing you want is brought by action. You receive it. Whatever your action is to be, it is evident that you must act now. You cannot act in the past. It is essential to the clearness of your mental vision that you dismiss the past from your mind. You cannot act in the future because the future is not here yet. And you cannot tell how you will want to act in any future contingency until that contingency has arrived, because you are not in the right business or the right environment now. Do not think that you must postpone action until you get into the right business or the right environment. And do not spend time in the present planning the best course in possible future emergencies. Have faith in your ability to meet any emergency when it arrives. If you act in the present with your mind on the future, your present action will be with a divided mind and will not be effective. Put your whole mind into present action. Do not give your creative impulse to the original substance and then sit down and wait for the results. I'll read that again. Do not give your creative impulse to the original substance. So don't just think, and then you sit down and wait for the results. If you do, you will never get them. Act now. There's never a time but now, and there'll never be any time but now. If you are to ever begin to make ready for reception of what you want, you must begin now. He's trying to kill procrastination. All right, a lot of us procrastinate, got great ideas, and the natural laws of men slow us down. I don't have a budget. Oh, it needs more planning. I don't have funding. I don't have enough in my trading account to grow it. I only have $100. I need 1,000, according to YouTube experts. He's saying, act now. There is never any time but now, and there'll never be any time but now. If you are ever to begin to make ready for the reception of what you want, you must begin now. Your action must be in your present business or employment and must be upon the persons and the things in your environment. You cannot act where you are not. You cannot act where you have been, and you cannot act where you are going to be. You can act only where you are. Do not dwell on whether yesterday's work was well or poorly done. Do today's work well. Do not try to do tomorrow's work now. There will be plenty of time to do that when tomorrow comes. Do not try by occult or mystical means to act on people or things that are out of your reach. Do not wait for change of your environment before you act, because a change of environment through action. You can act upon your present environment so as to cause yourself to be transferred to a better environment. Hold with faith and purpose the vision of yourself in the better environment, but act upon your present environment with all your heart and with all your strength and with all your mind. Do not spend any time daydreaming or castle building. Hold the one vision of what you want and act now. Do not cast seeking some new things to do or some strange, unusual, or remarkable action to perform as a first step toward getting rich. For some time to come, your actions will probably be the same as those you have been performing. But now you will perform those actions in a certain way, which will surely make you rich. If you are engaged in some business and feel it is not right, it's not the right one for you, sorry, do not wait until you get into the right business before you begin to act. Do not feel discouraged or sit down and lament because you're in the wrong place. No person was ever so misplaced that he could not find the right place, and no person was ever so involved in the wrong business that he could not get into the right business. Hold the vision of yourself in the right business with purpose to get into it and faith that you will get into it, but act in your present business. Use your present business as a means of getting a better one, and use your present environment as a means of getting into a better one. Your vision of the right business is held with faith and purpose will cause the supreme power to move the right business toward you. And your action, if performed in a certain way, will cause you to move toward the business. If you are an employee and you feel that you must change places in order to get what you want, do not project your thought into a space and rely upon it to get another job. It will probably fail to do so. Hold the vision of yourself in the job you want while you act with faith and purpose on the job you have, and you'll certainly get the job you want. Your vision and faith will set the creative force in motion to bring it toward you, and your action will cause the forces in your environment to move toward the place you want. In closing this chapter, I will add another statement to our syllabus. So I've been calling this our quote for the book. He calls it the statement of the syllabus. There is a thinking, stuff from which all things are made and which in its original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the universe. A thought in this substance produces the thing that is imaged by the thought. A person can form things in this thought, and by impressing his thoughts upon the formless substance can cause the thing he thinks about to be created. In order to do this, a person must pass from the competitive to the creative mind. He must form a clear mental picture of the things he wants, and he must hold this picture in his thoughts with fixed purpose to get what he wants, and be the unwavering faith that he will get what he wants, closing his mind to all that may tend to shake his purpose, dim his vision, and quench his faith. Here's the additional part today: that he may receive what he wants when he becomes a person, must act now upon the people and the things in his present environment. And I really think this chapter was kind of like clear, man. Go act. Go act. Get it done. Get a definite purpose. Become obsessed about it. Think about it all the time, and then start to operationalize your plan, your goals for 2022 in your particular area. It's just that simple. It's that simple, and that's why most of us don't do it, because it is that simple. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I am burning. I don't know if you can see, the sun is literally in my face, but I've enjoyed this with you. I'll see you tomorrow for another episode with the podcast. Money Heist 365, shake my hand. Tomorrow we'll be doing chapter 12. Yeah, tomorrow we'll be doing chapter 12. 365, guys, shake my hand. Cheers.